Hi there. Welcome back to the Healthy Habits Hub. Did you know that by adjusting the way you cook and store your rice, you can turn it into a healthier, low-calorie, gut-friendly food? Stick around until the end because I'll share the best tips on how to cook your rice, whether you're using a crock pot, steam function, or another method, to make sure it turns out perfect every time. Now, let's dive into how to make rice healthier. Rice is a staple food for billions of people, but when it comes to white rice, there's a downside. It has a high glycemic index. This means that when you eat it, it breaks down quickly into glucose, causing rapid blood sugar spikes. Over time, these repeated spikes can lead to insulin resistance, a condition where your body becomes less sensitive to insulin, making it harder to regulate blood sugar levels. This is a major risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes. In fact, a large study published in the British Medical Journal found that people who consume a lot of white rice, especially in Asian countries, have a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes because of white rice's rapid breakdown into glucose. But here's the good news. There's a simple, science-backed trick that can make rice much healthier. Let's talk about that next. Here's how you can still enjoy your rice without worrying about those blood sugar spikes. Cook your rice as you normally would, but then refrigerate it for 12 to 24 hours. During this time, the starch in the rice undergoes a process called retrogradation. This process converts some of the starch into resistant starch. What's great about resistant starch is that your body can't digest it. This means that the glycemic index of the rice drops significantly, making it a healthier option for anyone concerned about blood sugar. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition and Food Sciences showed that refrigerating rice significantly increases its resistant starch content and lowers its glycemic response. So by simply cooling your rice before eating, you can enjoy it without the blood sugar spikes. Now, here's how resistant starch can help with weight management. One of its key benefits is that it promotes fullness. Because resistant starch isn't absorbed in your small intestine, it doesn't add extra calories and gives you a feeling of satiety, meaning you stay full for longer. This can help curb overeating and cravings, making it easier to manage your weight. Plus, it acts like fiber, slowing down digestion and preventing those post-meal crashes that can leave you reaching for snacks. Let's talk a little more about resistant starch and why it's so beneficial. Resistant starch doesn't break down in your small intestine like regular starch. Instead, it passes through undigested, which has two major benefits. First, it reduces your caloric intake because it doesn't contribute any calories. Second, it helps improve insulin sensitivity, which is crucial for preventing conditions like diabetes. In fact, a study in diabetes care found that meals rich in resistant starch improved insulin sensitivity by 33% in people with insulin resistance. This makes rice a much healthier option for managing blood sugar and even for weight management. But that's not all. Resistant starch also acts as a prebiotic, which means it feeds the healthy bacteria in your gut, your probiotics. Think of probiotics as the good guys in your gut that help keep your digestion running smoothly. When resistant starch reaches your large intestine, these gut bacteria ferment it, producing short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, like butyrate, which are really important for your health. Butyrate, in particular, is amazing. It acts as a fuel source for the cells that line your colon, keeping your gut healthy and reducing inflammation. Butyrate has been shown to lower the risk of colon cancer, and it also plays a key role in reducing inflammation throughout your body. A study published in Clinical and Translational Immunology found that butyrate plays a key role in supporting your immune system and reducing inflammation. So by cooling your rice, you're not just managing blood sugar, you're also promoting better gut health and reducing inflammation throughout your body. To put this in perspective, Dr. Walter Kempner's rice diet, developed in the 1930s, demonstrated that even white rice, often seen as a problem for people with high blood sugar, could actually have health benefits when used in the right context. Kempner used a rice-based, low-fat, low-sodium, and calorie-restricted diet to treat patients with serious conditions like hypertension, kidney disease, and type 2 diabetes. His approach involved a simplified diet where patients consumed rice alongside fruits, vegetables, and low-protein foods, which help them reduce blood pressure and improve their overall health. What's interesting is that while Kempner's method was very strict, modern science offers us another way to modify rice. Instead of drastically cutting sodium or protein intake, you can still benefit from rice by increasing its resistant starch content. Combining Kempner's principles of portion control and low-calorie intake with the resistant starch method can offer a powerful way to manage weight, blood sugar, and gut health. Now, you might be wondering, does it matter which type of rice you use? The answer is yes. Different types of rice have different glycemic indexes and health benefits. White rice, for example, has a higher glycemic index than brown rice because it's more processed. Brown rice is a whole grain, meaning it contains more fiber, which helps slow down digestion and lower its glycemic impact. Other good options are basmati rice or wild rice, which have lower glycemic indexes than regular white rice and provide more nutrients. That said, this cooling hack works with all types of rice, including white rice. So if you prefer the taste or texture of white rice, you can still enjoy it while reducing its glycemic effect. Studies have also shown that replacing white rice with brown rice can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes and improve insulin sensitivity. Yes, you should still wash your rice before cooking. Washing helps remove the surface starch, which prevents the grains from sticking together. It also helps clean away any dirt or residual pesticides. Washing rice can also reduce arsenic levels in the rice by up to 30%, especially for rice grown in areas where arsenic levels are naturally higher in the soil. Just rinse your rice under cold water until the water runs clear before cooking. And don't worry, washing the rice won't affect the formation of resistant starch because that process happens after cooking and cooling. You might be wondering, if rice is high in carbs, why do countries like Japan, where rice is eaten daily, have lower obesity rates? The answer lies in the traditional Japanese diet and lifestyle. In Japan, rice is usually eaten in small portions alongside vegetables, fish, and fermented foods like miso and natto, which are rich in probiotics. These foods help balance the effects of eating rice and promote gut health. Additionally, traditional Japanese meals are low in sugar and processed foods, which helps people maintain a healthy weight. However, as the Western diet, with its processed foods and higher sugar intake, has become more common in Japan and China, the rates of type 2 diabetes have increased. This rise in diabetes risk isn't just about rice. It's largely due to the influence of Western-style diets and modern food habits. The BMJ study pointed out that while rice is a staple in these countries, it's the rise in processed foods and sugar that's primarily contributing to increasing diabetes rates in Japan and China. So, how can you apply this trick in your kitchen? It's easy. Here's how. First, cook your rice as you normally would. Then, let it cool at room temperature for about 30 minutes. After that, refrigerate it for 12 to 24 hours. When you're ready to eat, you can either reheat the rice or eat it cold. Studies show that reheating the rice won't reverse the benefits of resistant starch, so you can enjoy it however you like. This hack doesn't just work with rice. You can also use it with potatoes, pasta, and even bread. Cooling potatoes or pasta after cooking increases their resistant starch content, and freezing and toasting bread can lower its glycemic index. While this trick helps improve insulin sensitivity and supports weight management, remember that portion control is still important. Pair smaller portions of rice with nutrient-dense foods like vegetables, healthy fats, and protein for the best results. Now that you know how to make rice healthier by cooling it, let's talk about the best way to cook your rice. Many people love using a crockpot for its simplicity, and the steam function is a great option because it's quick and efficient. Steaming rice allows for even cooking, prevents it from sticking, and locks in moisture, ensuring perfectly fluffy rice every time. Here are some additional tips to make sure your rice turns out perfect. 1. Rinse your rice. Washing rice before cooking removes excess starch that can cause the grains to clump together. This step is especially important when using white rice. 2. Use the right water ratio. The general rule is 1 to 2, 1 part rice, 2 parts water. However, this can vary based on the type of rice. For example, brown rice might need slightly more water. Using a crock pot, makes it easier to control this balance because you don't lose water through via evaporation. Personally, I use the rice steam function on my own crock pot. With long grain white rice, I mix 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water. This makes perfect fluffy rice every time. 3. Allow rice to rest. After the rice finishes cooking, let it rest for about 5 minutes. This allows the moisture to redistribute and the grains to settle, giving you fluffier rice. 4. Avoid stirring. When cooking rice, resist the temptation to stir. Stirring can break down the grains and release too much starch, making the rice sticky. Number 5. Use high-quality rice. The quality of your rice matters. Choose whole grains like brown rice or basmati rice for added fiber and nutrients. These varieties have a naturally lower glycemic index and are perfect for making healthier meals. Whether you're using a crock pot, rice cooker, or just a pot on the stove, these tips will ensure your rice turns out perfect every time. Combine this with the cooling trick we discussed earlier, and you'll have a nutritious, gut-friendly, low-calorie meal ready to go. So the next time you make rice, try using these cooking techniques along with the simple cooling hack. You'll make your meals healthier, lower your blood sugar, and promote better gut health, all while enjoying perfectly cooked rice. Let me know in the comments if you've tried these methods and how they worked for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more science-backed health tips.